Alright, hey guys, welcome to another one of Lorenzo's Blood Bowl commentaries. This time playing with a team that I've designed specifically for you to see. It's a bit like that Dark Elf one, except I'm not going to play that Dark Elf one anymore. And this one I will record all the matches that have got to be played. It's a rookie High Elf team versus a rookie Orc team. So we'll try and go through the development and stuff and all that jazz. So I'm going to have to play... I used to own a High Elf Snobs, and that's because they look down on everyone else, especially the green-skinned Orcs. But what the High Elves bring is a brilliant passing game with high-speed catchers, which have pretty decent strength as well. Strength 3, they're pretty strong for a catcher on a team. And not only that... Right, cool, we're here, and everything seems to be working out quite nicely. Let's go with the... I didn't name them anything. Actually, I probably should have, because they've got ridiculously long names otherwise. Right. I kind of like the stage where nobody has any skills, and it just feels sort of vanilla, and everything's sort of more dependent. I can't remember exactly what I built, but I seem to remember it involved having one catcher only. 2 blitzers, which I have. And yeah, I do not play High Elves at all, really. They're not one of my races that I usually play, so we'll see how it goes. The catcher's the only one on the team with armor value 7, so for Elves, they're actually quite well armored, to be honest. And we'll deploy in a standard little formation. The catcher's the one... Do I even have a thrower? I don't think I even have a thrower. I must have a thrower. I would have bought a thrower. No? 0 throwers? Maybe it's too expensive. Okay, I don't have a thrower. That's alright, we'll work around that. Maybe he might have been too expensive and I might want the rerolls. So, yeah, here's the team. We'll see how many survive, and I'll try and go through trials. Obviously, I can only run them as long as they sort of are alive, so I will try my very best to... And especially, they're in Nagaroth, so it shouldn't be too bash frenzy, but we'll see. Let's have a look at his team. 4 Black Orcs, pretty standard. 4 Blitzers, you should definitely get as many Blitzers as you can. Thrower, which gives him some ball handling skills, and Rick, who is a lineman. And then a goblin, and I think that'll be probably it, actually. I can't imagine him having more with the 3 rerolls. So known mighty blow, he has more block than I do. I have a lot more agility all over, and I don't really have that many skills. I just got a catcher. But as you can see, the catcher has some pretty nice movement. At movement 8, strength 3, agility 4, he's not slow. Maybe my movement will kick in, but I'm only movement 6 and 7 on the blitzers, so we'll have to think of something. But for the moment, let's just play Blood Bowl. Let's work out what's going to happen. It goes to a high kick, so it gives him a chance to put a player under the ball, and he might catch, he might not. He does catch, so that makes things a little bit easier for him. But with sure hands, he probably would have picked up anyway. It just means he can get the ball to the front. Now, dealing with this cage is going to be difficult. I'm probably going to try and blitz that goblin, just because to get rid of a goblin just puts me a man up, really. It's an easier man up than trying to take on any of his other players. Thrower's got armor value 8, but it's not really too concerning. And yeah, it's going. It looks all right. We'll see how it all turns out. I hope my mic's all right. So here comes that, so I assume he's not going to blitz with a blitzer, is he? Unless he's going to blitz with this blitzer. Which means he's trying to get into the fight, which is, you know, a good idea. He's an Orc team, he wants to be bashing, he doesn't want to be doing no pansy blocking. Sorry, dodging. He does want to be blocking, that's exactly what he wants to do. So the first block my team will ever take. The nerves... it's a break of the armour, but nothing more. So we can be glad about that. We still got 3 more blocks to take, though, so it's definitely not over. Let's see what his Black Orcs can throw at us. Some early, like, both downs and things would be appreciated. Nothing too bad there. But he does have the strength in this game. Ow. Nothing too shabby there. He's managed to bunch me up quite nicely, so. And that's actually better for me, so he's going to probably push me there, which means he can try the block there. He set me up to try and do some... There you go, that's pretty good. I imagine he'll probably take the both down. No, he's going to re-roll it. I would have taken the both down. His ball's in... The ball is in a relatively safe position, and... Oh, but I'm corrected. Ugh, badly hurt. That's a vicious start for the Elves. Okay, so I just lost a player, which is not good because I don't have any spares. So pretty bad start to take an injury there, but at least it's only a badly hurt. Right. First of all, let's try and clear off some space. We just want to make some conservative blocks, and then we want to just try and make sure he doesn't get any more hits off, really. And that's why, rather than going to do what I said I was going to do, which is blitz the goblin, I'm going to just blitz this blitzer and try and keep him off me. That's basically to minimize damage more than anything. See, this guy's going to have a pretty tough time, and he might not be worth. Might be best just to leave him up. Leave a lineman here, and I will not be re-rolling any of these dodges if they fail, for the simple reason that I can't afford to just waste a re-roll on each dodge. Now the question is whether I just get him up or just leave him. I'm probably going to get him up. Maybe I don't really want to leave him to the dogs. He'll get bashed out, but he will at least take up some blocks. But I would rather attempt. There you go, because something might happen, and I'm Elves. So that was a 3+ followed by a 2+. Not particularly implausible that I would make it. So now we've got a 10-man screen. It basically limits him to only his blitz can actually block you, and that's quite a normal tactic for weaker teams like Elves. You don't want to play a long drawn-out bash game. You want to be playing a game where you are basically waiting for them to make a mistake. And it doesn't matter if you've only got like 5 Elves, because of the nature of Elves, you generally can get the ball out and away if you need to. He's going to come in and probably just try and keep or get up in my grill, which is a good choice. If I'm given the option, I will attack back and make blocks to try and keep him off me. But so that means if he leaves me the sort of space to do it. But if on the other hand it doesn't work out for me and I can't block him away, I'll just dodge away and we'll see how it goes. It's a bit of a risky game plan, but it sort of works out a bit nicer than it's better than trying to fight Orcs, because as soon as I start fighting them, then they're going to absolutely massacre my line. Here's the one block. He does manage to get a hit in. And he interestingly didn't pick both down, even though he had... That was an interesting choice, because he could have gone both down and I would have gone down, but who knows. Just having a look around, because I'm thinking it might be possible for me to just go for a blitz on the ball, if I'm lucky. But I'd have to be quite lucky. First of all, I'd need to have a player up. We'd need to beat off this player, then beat off this one, then sort of go through. Maybe not even that, maybe just beat off this one and try. Through there maybe? I don't know. But as you can see, it sort of limits his ability to block, which is nice. And he's going to supply me with that. Right, question is, where do I want to go? The problem is there's no easy place to block here, so... Because if I put players here, then I can't take the gap that was going to. And I'm going to spend a lot of blocks. Okay, I have to make a decision. Right, what we're going to try and do is we're going to try and open up a gap by doing this. Oh, that was the catcher, not the blitzer. Oops, this could go horribly wrong. That's bad. That's not as bad, but it's still pretty rubbish. Okay, it would have gone bad even if it was the blitzer, but... And it's unfortunate I don't get a better block off there. I had to use my reroll because I stupidly... Well, I did not make a good move there. Don't do that. Otherwise, I'm just going to, again, pull back, be conservative. Maybe go for a hit on this guy just in case it works out. Do manage to push him, but that's about it. I'll make a dodge. It fails, but that's alright because the positioning's not god awful. These guys are at least tangling up them. It's not going overly well, but that was really stupid of me. I meant to blitz with this guy rather than that guy, but I was just briefly looking through the skills and ended up picking the catcher by accident. But it's alright, sort of, he's okay. And if we can only be one player down, maybe if I'm lucky I'll get an injury back, but really I don't like the fact that he's got access to 4 players, 5 blocks this turn, which is really what I don't want, and I might be proved correct in not wanting that in a minute. But on the other chance, it is a better chance for any of these players to roll 1 or a 2 on both dice, and he will want to re-roll that. And his team needs more re-rolls than I do, really. And I should probably not have re-rolled this one over here, but I didn't want my armor value 7 catcher to take any hits. He is, of course, now probably going to get blitzed if this guy has any idea what he's doing. And it does look like he's going to get blitzed by his blitzer. I would have thought would be the appropriate one, as then that raises just the chances, but nope, okay, maybe not. We shall see. I'm expecting it. The thing with elves is they're really nice once they're sort of leveled, but at the same time it's very difficult to get them leveled. Okay, he's going to go for the Black Orc Blitz by the looks of it. Here it comes. And he does manage to hit, which is upsetting. But luckily he doesn't break armor, so I get away with it, really. Okay, so he's just making blocks, and he does manage to hit one of my linemen's armor out, which could have gone a lot worse. He's moved that player there, which doesn't add in a particularly... And he's got a little time to make one more block here. So he didn't make as many blocks as he could have, potentially, but he is managing to do a good job of locking down my players, annoyingly. Hooray for that, though, because he had to waste another reroll. So that was more than good for me. Right, for starters, we do have a free hit on this goblin, so we should really take it. Unless, guys, I have a cunning plan, which I might do. Okay, so we're not going to... Oh no, I should have definitely taken that. Because I was going to jump on through here, but I've just been proved that can't happen. So I'm just going to respond back by just going for the blitz. And I do manage to hit him. Come on, break armor. Doesn't even do a thing. Stunty should make it pretty easy for him to get out of there, so I want to be careful, but at the same time I kind of like my blitzer being on this flank for unknown reasons. It's not a good position to be in either, so I'm not sure why I like him being there, but okay. Next port of call is to move some players back out so they can assist and get them out. Again, I'm making risky dodges. It's a bit risky. Well, it is very risky. I kind of want to make. Okay. Oh, I regret that. Oh, come on. This is the thing. Every time I make a team for Blood Bowl, I get taunted with every time I make a team for a game, I get taunted by god awful rolls. So I've just rolled 12-12 on the casualty table with 2 dice. So that's not great. And I'm still going to struggle, and it looks like I'm just going to get outbashed this game. It was a failed dodge. I didn't want to waste the reroll because that reroll could be useful. And this is the thing, elves need money, but that player cost me 70k. So now I'm stuck in a way. Right, if I need to pick up some sort of mistake, but this guy is well hidden behind this line of orcs, and there's not much I can do to get through it. And he's sort of managed to push me in the right way and wasted rerolls. Oh god. I wish I had taken that reroll now. Sort of hoping that 8 armor would do something, but nope. I'm trying to play as conservatively as possible here, but it's just going to cost me now. I'm getting absolutely outbashed on all sides of the field, and yeah, I think my blitzer is looking thoroughly stuck on the flank, which is one of the bad things about being on the wings, but we can get him out. And we just need to keep sort of hoping that, well, I need to hope that my armour holds more than anything. He's absolutely pummeling me. Eesh. But he's played a good game. That's the thing with orcs. They come with all these nice blitzers with blocks, so they've got a bit more security when doing something. And their high armor means they're pretty good at tanking. I don't know if you could say they're good early game. They're not bad. They got sure hands and they got pass, so they've got, you know, some skills. It's just, oh, I rolled a red die when I rolled a 1 die block, followed by a push. He rolls a 5. We shall carry on through. Right, first things first. I'm going to get this player out to the back. He's not going to be much use there, but he's just going to add a little element. And I might have to... Yep, okay, he's made the dodge. So that basically just adds a little threatening element there. I have very little to go on elsewhere. I'm going to take a risk because I need to now and hope that he makes the go for it. He does. And we're going to have to make another dodge. And this time I have to take it because... oh dear, it's not going well. And then we have to get that player up. I don't know who to dodge first. I'd say this game is still got a long way to go, and it does, but I need my luck. My luck's alright at the moment, but I need something quite special to happen really to keep me out of trouble. And I'm just going to have to keep spamming these dodge rolls. I never play elves, that's the thing. I don't really like them, they're far too expensive for my liking. I like to have something I can throw at the enemy. And we'll just run around. There you go. So at least we cleared off the blocks. He'll be able to get 2 blocks next turn, which is alright really. I just put this blitzer here so that sort of these guys would have a little bit more issue getting through. he should be able to power on through. And the dead player is going to hurt me. And my already diminished... Well, I have nothing in the treasury. So now I'm going to have to put all my earnings from this match into saving for a new player. But... oh well. Building new teams can be a bit stressful. Because without a sort of full treasury, you will struggle. You will struggle. Now, things that I would like to do. I would quite like to have an attempt on his ball carrier now, just to see if we can't catch him out. But I think he knows that that's what I'm thinking, and so he's not doing anything. What's that place person there? That's good. That's a pretty solid move by him. Here comes the rest of the blocks. Oh, you have to be kidding me! He's armor value 8, and I'm just getting massacred on the first game. So broken jaw means my blitzer is missing the next game. I needed that player. And it's going to be a vicious game for the start. Lorenzo Snobs just aren't going to be able to hold this. Not at least for the beginning. Right, I know I have to desperately grab whatever I can injury-wise, so I need to at least make attempt at blocks now, because this game is not looking good. That means making a load of rolls, even though I have no rerolls. Oh, you have to be kidding me. This is going to be a quick game. Okay. So I have 4 players in the injury box. You know how I said Elves are pretty good with 7 players? It's going to be hard, because I just don't have the skills to move around the pitch. I don't have a thrower, and I don't have catchers with dodge, which means I'm going to be very much reliant on quick plays, which can go horribly wrong if your luck's not good. So this is actually as bad as luck goes, really. So you can see the trial through fire. So next match I'm going to be at least down 2 players, and that's just by turn 6 of the first game, and that's already decided. Oh, I might as well enjoy it. It'll be quite a quick game, I'm afraid, because I'm going to be... oh no. What was that? A gouged eye. He's missing the next game, so that's 3 players. I shouldn't have talked. This Orc team is having possibly the best start you can imagine. And there is literally nothing I can do about it. Ow. You know how I said elves are crunchy? They are really crunchy. But like usually, high elves, when there's no mighty blow about, are okay. They'll survive. They'll survive. They'll make do. And they should do well, sort of early on. But here I am getting taught a lesson in punching. But that's okay, because, you know, it's only 1 player actually gone off the team entirely so far. Touch wood. We'll try and come back at them with a goal or 2 and a touchdown and see if they respond. Maybe the luck will turn in our favour, as it sometimes does. But when you're 5 players down by turn 6, something has gone horribly wrong. Yeah, there's nothing more I can do really than sit there and take blocks. These 2 players are going to be out. That one's now out. I think it's going to be a simple matter, just waiting for the blocks to come. And I might as well try and make some blocks of my own, just in an attempt to deal out some damage. Is that both linemen? Is that both blitzers out, actually? No. I still have 1 blitzer. Hooray. Yeah, words can't describe how awful this game is going. On the off chance I get an amazing respond, I need an injury on this block. I don't even break armor. And I fail the dodge roll. He's going to delay until he has to score, which is basically means he'll walk up to this part of the pitch and then he'll sit down. And he'll sit down with the ball. Which gives me the beginning of my half to start, which will be interesting. And yeah, all I can hope is that my MVP lands on not my dead player. Or one of my dead players, as it may be by the end of the game. Uh-oh, it looks like he wants to play the fouling game. Oh wait, no, sorry, they're not on the floor. It's okay. If I'm lucky, he'll make a mistake by, like, maybe, just maybe, he'll, like, screw up by saying that's safe. And then I might be able to just about reach him if I get some luck, but I doubt it. If he needs to, he can make it there. And probably could make it entirely there because he has a reroll still. Interestingly though, he's not put any players to support this. Yeah, okay, that's interesting. I have one shot at this. My catcher must go for a hit and scores the hit, so yay. So he does actually manage to get the ball loose. And what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and get my blitzer to pick it up. He doesn't make it. So his best plan is probably just to... He should still be able to manage this. Quite simply because he can put me down. Maybe I should have picked it up with the catcher, but that doesn't help him. He can either push... Oh, no, it does. He can put it there. So now it's a 1 in 9 chance he'll fail this. It'd be lovely to see him fail, but I don't think he's going to. It was a good attempt, but in the end I probably should have just gone for the pickup because it would have been safe now. I can hope that he rolls a terrible roll here, but even if he does, he has to roll. He has a re-roll, so he has to roll it twice. But yeah, 1 in 9. My luck's been pretty bad this game, so a 1 in 9 chance is about what can save this game and turn it into a draw. His block skill coming into play, and yes. This is a really, really rough start for my team. Maybe if armor had broke or something, it would have been nice, but it didn't on that thrower, so what are you going to do? I'm not entirely sure why he's throwing players around that guy. I don't see him doing much, unless he's going to go for a blitz or something like that, but we'll see. Okay, what's he going to do? And he makes it. Well, that's depressing. So, not the greatest first half for a team that was sort of hoping to win this. And as you can see, 5 players in the box makes for a very painful start. We'll have to pick up XP somewhere, so we might as well start with the blitzers. This is why I don't play Elves, because they're too expensive and just a terrible luck game makes everything horrible. And I'm going to have a painful start to my season. My next game I'll be playing with a couple of loners. I can only hope that I get an easier matchup. And then maybe a soft team as well, something that maybe I can outbash. So like goblins, even though goblins will have chainsaws and stuff like that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're just going to... The catcher can stay. I don't even have the right amount of players to pull off a successful 2-die block, really. I can do it, but I need to do the passing action first, which is basically what I was planning to do anyway. Yay, extra reroll at least helped me get the pass. So at the beginning of an early team, you want to farm up XP as much as possible. Sorry, SPP. So you have to make these sort of moves. There we go. So that at least gets 1 SPP for the Blitzer. Trust me, we're going to need all the SPP we can get. Then I need to make 1-die blocks all over the place. And because I have a reroll, it's almost possible. Nope. And then what we're going to do is we're going to swing this guy around and go for his thrower just on the off chance, because his thrower is again one of his players which are easier to injure. But not a single orc was taken down in that round of blocking. So that ends the half. 1-0 to the Orcs, and I have a team that is 6 men strong at the moment, which is going to stay 6 men strong, because there has not been a single KO, it has just been injuries on my team. What can I do? Well, I can attempt to make a... Okay, so he's gone for a pretty interesting thing. What we can do is now we can get a lineman to cover up here. He hasn't defended particularly deep, which might just give me the opportunity to push up and make the move I want to, as it were, but it's not going to be just as easy as doing that, I'm afraid. I'm going to have to go for a full right swing, which is, he's going to kick it that side, which is fair enough, and I get the high kick event, so I can move this player under the ball at least. He doesn't manage the pick up and it falls behind. You couldn't ask for a worse thing to happen really on that thing, considering it's a high kick, and that makes it really tricky to even get the ball to the right player, because I put the catcher in the wrong place as well. Oh, I'm just screwing up all the time here. It's alright. It's okay. Right. You couldn't... Yeah, that's a terrible place for the ball to end up. Now, I have the choice. I could go for a 4+ reroll. 2... This is where it gets tricky. At no point is it going to be easy to throw this ball. Only risk takers can take this. Oh wow, he fails the pickup. Right, he's going to stumble. Nope, he's going to... Oh, he perfect launch, so actually he's made it. Shock horror. And now we can just blitz up through the field, in theory. So it took me a reroll. Sorry if the mic keeps getting bashed. It's a new one that goes in front of my mouth. I'm not quite used to it, so it sort of keeps getting smacked in the face. Sorry again. There. Can't even scratch my nose. Right, so we can get the catcher nicely upfield now because he has movement 8. So all that we have to do is follow him up. He fails the dodge. That was the player that needed to make that, because now he can just flood into the gap and yeah, screw me over. Ah, dear Lord, it's not going to be an easy game for me at all. So you really couldn't have asked for, like, his kick was perfect, and considering he has no players with kick skill, God, that's quite annoying. He's going to be able to basically probably punch the ball out my hands now. I've wasted a reroll because I had to pick up the ball. The high kick was not caught, which again screws me over quite a lot because it loses me 2 things, which... But you know, he passed it over, which is I suppose the good point. All I can hope is he doesn't manage to get the ball out of my hands, which is not a high chance he's not going to manage to with 2 block players. If the blitzer had made it into his position, sure, we'd be away with the ball. And I'd feel pretty comfortable about scoring at least a consolidation touchdown. But on the good news, this guy has picked up more and more SPP. It's sort of depressing for Elves to go into their first game completely goalless, but we shall. Still, it happens. So he's going to likely come in here and even just push me. All he needs to do is punch me to the ground. He's got on a 2, a 5 or a 6, he'll manage it, and he gets 2 dice at that. So he's got a pretty solid chance. I think that's 1/2 times 2. It's like 3/4 chance or something. I suppose what's the probability of him rolling? Oh, half, and he's got a reroll as well. So you'll see it's probably going to happen. I'll be surprised if it doesn't. There you go. It happens on both dice. It's absolutely awful. And an injury. It's only a badly hurt. But, sorry, I keep touching that mic. It's really annoying. So yeah, this is the game of Blood Bowl. You will not... Sometimes a game is not there to be won. It is just there to be played. And all you can do is sit there and take it. We've only got 6 more turns of this. Let's just enjoy the ride. My Elves are having possibly... the worst start I've ever had a team start with, which is typical of when I want to put a team solely up for commentaries, but you know, whatever. Let's just try and farm something out of this, which means I'm going to have to make blocks around the places and I'm going to have to do something. The other option is, and it's risky, no, there's not really any good option here, apart from maybe this, which is probably my best chance of scoring a touchdown, and requires me to roll a 6. I don't even know what to say. Like, I'm just going to cry here. Oh, we knocked him out. Woo! The plan was to blitz through, hopefully roll a 6, run in here, make some miraculous dodges, pick up the ball and go for it. That's my only chance of scoring now. But that was dashed when my lineman decided to roll 2 and a 1 and then re-roll it and 2 and a 1 again on the goblin. So yeah, that's not great. Explain, this is probably the worst start you can ever ask for an elf team, because they need those players, and I'm going to be missing a blitzer and a lineman when I go into my next match, which is going to be vicious. I was going to reduce my team value a little bit because blitzers are more expensive, but if we're lucky we'll get some money, and then if we're lucky again we might have a better match than this, and if we get through the first match, which is this one, and then we get a good second match and maybe a good third match, we might start to develop some skills which will keep the elves alive and make them a bit more efficient at scoring. Might win some more games and get them more SPP, and it all goes uphill from there. But it's going to apparently be a slow start for this team. Yeah, maybe it's a curse, so we'll see. And again, apologies if I keep touching the mic. I don't mean to, it's just kind of there in front of my face, and when your head is in your hands continuously, which it has been throughout this game, it's gonna get touched. It's fine. Oh, okay, he failed a catch. Woo. There's no one there to capitalise on it. That's the problem. I have literally no one around to do anything with. I could do that. I'd have just... Okay, crazy play, time, let's go for it. I have no rerolls, so a single 1 or anything like that is going to screw me over. But it's worth a try at this stage just to see, because Oh! Oh! Ah, he did so well to get that point. Okay, so the ball's sitting around here. Still not good, but I was sort of hoping if he could have made that, and then this guy would have likely been brought down from somewhere. These blitzers could have got him, but you know, another SPP for the blitzer. But doesn't look like that's going to happen. I'm not entirely sure why he picked up the ball and then passed it. He could have just gone and picked it up with the thrower, because he used, I think if I recall, he used a handoff. He did a handoff, which doesn't get you any SPP if it succeeds. Only if you make a pass. A handoff is the one where you just give it to a player in the adjacent square. Whereas a pass is where it's passed a distance, more than one square, but can be also one square. And yeah, I don't know why he even bothered. I was supposed to move it upfield quicker, but you could just hand it off to a blitzer and he moves faster than a thrower. So really, it's occasionally see it in Orc teams is the blitzers are used as catchers and then do the running, but only usually if they pick up an agility boost. Sorry. That's me going, as my team dies. I wouldn't be surprised if a foul came in. I wouldn't be surprised if he goes for his own little bit of SPP. God knows, he probably should. Again, this Mike's placement is really annoying. It's sort of right in the way. Especially if you're going to like scratch your nose or something. Okay, so he managed to pick up the ball. Pretty standard, you would expect that. He does have sure hands. The high elf thrower is good, but he only comes with pass and safe throw, which are great core skills for a thrower. And the safe throw is really good when it gets into the later sort of game where people might, other agility teams come up with, say, like catch and interceptors and try and do some clever stuff like that. But really, oh my god, there is really nothing I can do here. Literally nothing I can do. I don't have the players, they're outnumbered, and my god am I screwed. Time for another crazy play. So many dodging. Elves can dodge quite well though, so, you know. Like that, he just dodged on a 4+. Crazy plays. The ball lands out there, so that's not the worst placement ever, but it's not going to be a good placement. Time for another crazy play. Because, you know, you have to believe, guys. If you don't believe, you're not going to succeed. It doesn't matter. Okay, I was basically going to try and run that guy there, and then run this guy into here and go for a cheeky pass. But, you know, chances of it succeeding so slim. It's like double 3+, then some 2+, then another 2+, then a 4+, then no interception, and then he would even still have a chance to go grab the ball again. Chances are it's not going to happen, but never know. At this stage, that's about as good as my chances are going to get, so you might as well take him. I know that maybe making dodges is going to just open up more time for injury rolls, but really I can't you know, I couldn't really have a much worse start on the injury rolls anyway. I'm going to just play my cards and risk it. Play the hand you're dealt. Broken jaw, gouged eye. So those two are out for the next game, and they are a blitzer and a lineman. Then we have a dead lineman who never ever saw. Well, he died in the first like few turns of the game, which is depressing. And yeah. It's going to be an interesting start to this high elf career, but you never know, they might take off. Compared to some teams, it's quite nice on starting teams if you're a bit of a newbie to play a team that's got some nice core skills. So for example, Orcs are quite good because they got block on 4 of their blitzers, and they get 4 of those blitzers, and then you got the strength Black Orcs, and basically all their players come with lots of armor, which means that even if you do get into a fight when you shouldn't, and to be honest there isn't many times when an Orc team shouldn't get into a fight, you will usually be okay early game. Starting off, no one's really going to be able to break your armor consistently. Maybe someone with claw, but then they have to be pretty good at picking their targets and knowing to use that claw player. There's no team that's universally got clear claw off the start. There's a couple of teams that have claw at the beginning, such as Khorne and Necromancers. And Norse with the Yeti, but even then they're not going to really punish you too hard unless you get unlucky. We're still stuck. Still stuck. Still so very screwed. Go, Blitzer! Kill me, a Black Orc. Nope, you're just gonna get taken out yourself. Yeah, so Orcs is quite a nice one to start off with. Elves are okay, but this is the thing, if you have a bad starting game, it will cost you, and I mean literally it will cost you money. This team will, they usually, towards the later end when they're being bashed, a lot of the time they will be running on mercenaries, and only the lucky elf teams are the ones that manage to get most of their players high level, because they're just not a bashing team. Let's have a think about other teams. Humans are good, pretty, for starters, obviously, because they come with lots of skills like catch and pass and sure hands and block on a lot of players, and they got some strength access, and their armor's not bad, so they're quite good in that sense. And standard stats. Chaos is a difficult one to start, but they really shine later on, so that's another thing. And Amazons is usually quite a nice starting one, as they have a throw with pass, but all their players come with dodge, which means you can at least get away with a little bit of cheeky dodging on the most part, and not many teams are going to be able to punish you. Dwarves are very easy to play at first, but at the same time they're very easy, but you're relying on the bash, essentially. Oh, I don't even know what to do, whether just to lie down and take this now is almost my gut instinct here. Yeah, there's literally, I'm just going to sit here and take it. Sometimes there is nothing you can do. He's got all my players surrounded. Any blocks they make out are likely, they will be 2-die uphill blocks. It's this point, there's nothing I can gain. I'm not more likely to lose a player than I am kill a player, so just sit there and take it. And he's going to push up for a 2-0 win. What other teams are good starters? Yeah, as I said, Dwarves, difficult to score with, but if you can outbash the team, it doesn't matter, because all you've got to do is roll the ball onto one side of the pitch at one point and score a 1-0 win. Woo, go Dwarves. He really does not need to foul me. It's unnecessary, but, such as Blood Bowl. We'll finish this up relatively quickly, because it's not really fun for me anymore. Hooray! I'm going to get at least another turn to at least make another throw and try and level, get some more SPP. What other teams? Chaos Dwarves aren't bad, I suppose, but he's one player who was knocked out got up. He's Goblin. I'm trying to think of any other teams that it's sort of worth. Norse are nice-ish because they've come with a is it sure hands? No, it's pass. But all of them come with block apart from the Yetis and the Werewolves, which makes for quite a reliable team. So yeah, those are the sort of teams. Whereas Dark Elves also are kind of nice, but also a little bit weird because they have some armor value 7 players and some frenzy, and again they're very expensive, so you have to watch out. Right, let's just position the players. I don't even have a catcher, so I can't even be sure that I'm even going to throw the ball successfully, but we can try. Too late, man! And it wasn't even it wasn't my player who did that. I don't get any SP. The crowd have done more to his team than I have. That's how it. Yeah, I fumbled the pass. It was only a 2+ as well. Oh, indeed. You could hear the crowd sigh in the background. That's how bad it was. The crowd were like, oh, really? This team is not going to be our favourite. Yeah.
So that pretty much covers our first game with Lorenzo Snob, your team, and it's completely massacred. So feel free to shout abuse at it or whatever, because it's an absolute... It has failed you on its first go. On the subject of tutorial videos, I intend to do the first one this weekend, so hopefully this weekend it will be released. I know it's taken a while. I had to do some script writing, and then my mic wasn't here, or rather I had a dead mic. And so yeah, it is in the works, and I do intend to start. And it is going to be very basic at first, and we'll build up. And that means that everyone can sort of catch up, and the advanced players can just ignore them for the start, and the people who've never even seen Blood Bowl can start at the start, and then we can all group up later on. And here comes the final block, a depressing one. So I end up with 3, 4, 5, 4. Did I take another? Oh, I got knocked out. So I end up with 4 players on the pitch. And I'm going to call that as one of my worst luck games in recent times. So let's have a look at who got MVP. You never know, we might get some SPP on someone, and we might get a miraculous level up if that blitzer or a lineman picks it up. It's a lineman who next level in 6, so I don't think he got injured. I bet it was the dead one, isn't it? The dead one picked it up. No, okay, it's not the dead one, it's just the one that's not participating in next game. So I've got 60k to spend, and I'll just show you how expensive elf players are. That expensive. So I'm going into my next game 3 players short, one of which is a blitzer, which is kind of a key player. So my team is 760 at the moment, which is not nice. Let's have a quick look at the team. Don't even have a full register of 10. How depressing. Don't cheer. Don't cheer. You guys are useless. Right. But that ends that. So yes, I'll catch you soon. And best of luck with all your Blood Bowl, and I will be looking forward to playing my next game with these guys, and I will record it, and let's hope it goes better. So stay safe, guys.